Oh, hi. Now, I know that I gave you the extreme basics of the app, okay? But there's one thing I didn't tell you. What do I actually do? Well, because Bigo is such a broad and vast place, you can literally do whatever you want within the rules. So please take a time to review the community guidelines. I will have a link to those in the description because those are rules that you don't want to break while you live stream. And while the app does tell you the rules of live streaming, they don't really give you the blueprint to successful live streaming, okay? So what are the basics? You have the opportunity to change your Bigo ID from numbers to a phrase or a name that will stick with you throughout your streaming experience, okay? While you can change your Bigo ID, it will cost VIP points, okay? And while we're on this topic, VIP points are points that are earned by gifters who have recharged at least $1,200 and who have also paid or sent gifts that range in the amount of $1,000 while on the app. Okay. Once someone has completed these metrics, they are rewarded VIP points by the app, and they will often bargain or wager or leverage the power of those points for those of us who want to go against the rules of Bigo per se. So in the same situation of the community guidelines, if you were to be banned, you would need VIP points. It's the same way if you would like to change your Bigo ID, you would need VIP points. So make sure that when you pick your Bigo ID, you pick something that is a good representation of you and is easy to be searched and found, okay? This will serve as, in a sense, your IP or your web name, okay? Your domain name, okay? After which you have a username. Your username, as you know, is the name that will pop up on the app. When you move from place to place, when you open your room, this name will be attached to your profile to represent who you are. Okay, so make sure you choose something that represents either your streaming style, your talents, pretty much gives a description of who you are, right? For example, Spider-Man. It's a man with spider powers. You see what I'm saying? So you want to pick something that reflects you, gives a strong interpretation of who you are, and it's something that you don't mind others calling you, okay? Profile image. So if you look here, these are a few images of some of our leaders in the respective agencies that I conglomerate with. And the goal is, as you see, to lure others to your live using a firm representation of yourself. There's a plethora of ways to do so. Just make sure that you choose something that fits your streaming style, okay? You have a bio. Now, my favorite phrase is to say, this is not Tinder. This is not Instagram. This isn't Facebook, okay? Your bio should be a reflection of your broadcast, okay? Not only are you introducing yourself, yes, you are the personality, but you are introducing your content. You are introducing your character. You are introducing your persona. So make sure if you have any events or you have any scheduled programming, now and here is the place to let people know what's going on with you, okay? After which we have the bar. Now, advertising on Bigo is the greatest place to advertise, right? You know for a fact that those who you reach out to on the app, utilizing it and understanding its functions. And you also give yourself a chance to meet new people, okay? So make sure that when you do create events, when you do go live, you share these instances to the bar so that other people can see you and find you and actually spend time. They also have groups known as communities which are similar to the group pages on Facebook, where you're no longer posting to the at-large world, right? You are now just posting to a small group of selected individuals who have agreed to be together on some similar topic. Okay. So those are the basics of just creating your page. Okay. The next thing you want to consider is your ambiance. As you see here, I'm operating under a colored lighting. I don't know if you can see the tint, but I feel that it works better with my skin tone. I also have a backdrop to create the illusion of being somewhere else, right? Give the illusion of completion or thoughtfulness within your live streaming experience, okay? Because everything matters, all right? I'm sure you all have seen a great movie that might have been bootlegged, right? So the quality of that film in regards to the actual quality available might not have been the same. No matter that the plot was still award-winning, the actors were still top tier, but the quality of the visual took away from the presentation as a whole. So don't let the quality of your presentation take away from your talent as a whole, okay? So we've talked about what the basics are, setting yourself up. We've discussed the idea of a good setup, things to have. And now we're going to talk a little bit about technique, okay? Interact with your audience. It's easier to keep a customer than to get a new one. That's an old marketing adage. And I use it in this case because it's easier to keep someone in your room who has already come to your room than to talk and convince someone who has never been to your live stream to visit, right? So when people do come, make sure that you're making them feel warm and welcomed and appreciated because there's a million other lives they could be in and they chose to be in yours, right? And the longer someone interacts with you, the more chances that they have to send you gifts, okay? Technique tip number 2, schedule your live streams. Now, I understand that we're busy people. I do. I also understand that if I host an event every day at 5 o'clock and let all my friends know, then there's a better potential that they will arrive at 5 o'clock than if I go live at 4 o'clock and just hope they show up, right? It would be much more people attending if I was to say, hey, man, on Tuesday and Thursday around 3 o'clock PST, I'm a live stream. And I'm sure more people would show up to these scheduled broadcasts than if you were to just wake up on a random Tuesday and say, I think I'll go live, right? So if you can, schedule your live streams. That gives you a chance to promote. That gives you a chance to plan. And it gives you a time to add the element of thoughtfulness to your live, okay? Operate from a template or main idea, okay? So when you are on the app, exploring other places, pay attention to some of the top tier hosts. Pay attention to those who make it to the heat list. Observe what their techniques may be, what their styles of streaming are. Because while good artists create, great artists steal. And what I mean by that is you can learn a lot from someone hosting a raffle. You can learn a lot from someone hosting a audition or a talent show or anything of that nature, okay? So because you can indeed learn from these people, take that into consideration, okay? So you want to operate from a template, meaning maybe something you've seen before or idea you created or a main idea. Today we're going to do a raffle for a shield, okay? So everyone that sends me a treasure, we're going to enter your name into a raffle that's going to pay out in about 10 days. So we're going to run this program for 10 days. If you do send me a treasure, I'll write your name on this whiteboard behind me. And that's how I'll keep up with whoever participates. And at the end of the month, we'll roulette, and whoever wins, wins. Sounds great, doesn't it? I didn't create that idea, but I am allowed to utilize it for my live streaming goals. So make sure that you are watching and learning as you pursue the app, because now you are a student of the paid broadcasting game. Now, we all understand all live streams don't go as smooth as we would hope, right? Sometimes the audience members get a little out of hand. Thankfully, Bigo has given us the permission to control our lives or our live streams, our broadcasts, by managing the audience, okay? So by management, I mean you can mute, kick, or report people within your live stream who do not mean you well, who are not participating, who are sending demeaning or degrading comments. Maybe they're over sexual with you at a time where you don't want to accept that type of energy. You are allowed to remove them, kick them, or block them, or report them. Okay? All you would do is click their profile name. I'll give you a demonstration here. So you see this person here. We're going to click their name. Once we click their name, you see manage, and you have the options available. Okay? So we're going to just kick this guy out. That was terrible. He probably did nothing wrong. And we just did that to prove this point. Okay? Now, the other option that you saw on that screen was to make an administrator. Okay? People who have been made an administrator cannot be disciplined by anyone else that's an administrator except for the broadcaster themselves. And they have the same permissions to mute or kick those who violate the rules of the broadcast. So make sure that you pick administrators that understand your streaming styles and techniques, the things that you're willing to deal with, that you're not willing to deal with. Okay? So the basics that we learned today about just the live streams are make sure that you're mindful of the image you create. Make sure that you keep a nice and pleasant energy, that you interact with your audience. Make sure that you care about your setup. And last but not least, make sure that you manage your room.